everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am here with a diamond painting video. I see you guys commenting. I know you're still here lurking. So here's some diamond painting content. I am going to be talking about my favorite pens that I have discovered over the past year of diamond painting. So this is not going to be the most informative video. This is just me showing you my favorite diamond painting pens from different shops that I've ordered from. This is, again, disclaimer, not a necessity. Pretty much every single kit will come with either a pink or a blue just plastic pen. You can complete any kit you want with just these. So this is obviously going to be a luxury thing, and I have spent some money on some of these pens, and I like them a lot. That's why I did it. So this is definitely not a necessity for the diamond painting craft in general, but it's something that I personally enjoy. It's basically the only accessory that I kind of splurge on because it's going to be in my hand for a long time. The benefit to getting custom diamond painting pens is if you're going to sit there and you're going to diamond paint for a really long time, it's similar to if you're going to be writing for hours on end, your hand is going to hurt. So the appeal is to get different like ergonomic shapes or like thicker pens or just lighter pens, heavier pens, because it'll make your hand happier. That's the only benefit to doing it, but also, you know, it makes me happy because they're pretty. So I only have a couple shops that I buy from because I basically got lucky enough that I found a shop that I love a lot. But I kind of went through the journey where I bought a bunch of like, this one is from Amazon, and honestly I really like this one because it is thinner. That's generally not appealing to a lot of people. A lot of people want really thick ends because it's easier on your hands, just how it's shaped. Sometimes I like the really thin ones. So honestly, I got this off of Amazon for like $15. I got this one from Diamond Art Club, and within a week of me getting it, Albus was still a kitten at that point, and he punted it off of my desk and broke the end, so I have washi tape holding it together, which is a good metaphor for my life. And I think this one also came from Amazon. These are all just kind of like acrylic, plasticky type of pens, which is what most of them are going to be. So you can honestly get fairly nice, good, decent pens off of Amazon. Diamond Art Club sells accessories and their pens change out pretty frequently, but they usually have the same type of styles. They have like thinner ones like this, thicker ones like this, and they change like their colors and stuff, but these will do the trick. If you want to go cheaper, these will definitely do the trick. You don't need to splurge on anything fancy, but if you're like me, you eventually start falling down that rabbit hole. So from there, I discovered Jim's Handmade Pen Shop. I will leave all the shops that I've bought pens from before linked in the description if you guys would like to go check them out. I will say though that a lot of Etsy shops or like custom diamond painting pen companies tend to do like drops. So they might have things listed in their store, but a lot of times they'll do like a weekly release of like all the pens that they turned that week. So it's something that you can kind of check back on periodically and see what they have in stock. But off of a friend's recommendation, and also the community in general really likes Jim, I discovered Jim's Handmade Pen Shop, and this was my first pen that I splurged on, and I liked it because it looks like a magic wand, because this is a hybrid pen, so the bottom half of this pen is wood, and then it has acrylic or resin poured like on top of it. I'll do close-ups of all of these pens so that you guys won't have to stare at my face while I try and get it to focus on this, but I got this pen. This was my first fancy one because I like greens and I also really like the aesthetic of the wood. It turns out I really like having hybrid pens where one end or both ends are wood, because this is a little thing that I noticed about myself. If I am diamond painting for a very long time, the acrylic or the plasticky feeling type of pens tend to make my hands sweat after a while, and the wood ones don't, and the wood just feels lighter in your hands, like it doesn't feel as heavy. So I tend to steer towards the hybrid pens, which is unfortunate because they are usually more expensive. So this was my first one that I splurged on. And then my next pen that I got from Jim is this one. It is another hybrid pen, but it has the acrylic just in the middle, so both ends are wood, and I adore this pen. This is probably one of my most used pens, and I'm just a big fan of the aesthetic of it. Look how pretty it is. Okay, and then we are getting to the piece de resistance. This is not my favorite company, but this is one of my favorite pens in general. And this is on the pricier side, so I will tell you, this was after I had been diamond painting for over a year, and I confirmed that I was going to stick with the hobby. That is the key. Before you start investing a lot of money into just fun accessories, make sure you're gonna stick with it. So I purposely, like, Jim's pens are expensive, but they were the first time that I spent like more than like $15 on a pen, and I have zero regrets, and I love those pens. They feel great in your hands, they have a good weight to them. Then I discovered my BFF diamond painting pens, and I'll put an overlay of this pen on the screen because this pen is just gorgeous. This is one of the first like custom pens that I did everything for. So the acrylic was a pre-made one, so I didn't choose the colors of this, but I adored it because it looks like cotton candy. But I chose the ends and I added those on, which made this pen very pricey, but these are everlasting tips. There are certain companies that make these. It used to just be, I think just Everlasting Tips was the main company that made them. But other companies are starting to include them as options to put on your pen before it even ships to you. So I chose a 3-placer and a single placer for this pen. And these tips, basically the appeal of the Everlasting Tips is they are stainless steel tips, which means they won't ever get burrs on them. They won't ever get like worn out and smushed down if you're like me and you like to kind of like shove the diamonds around on your painting to straighten them, which is not a great technique, but hello, I do it anyway. These won't wear out. Like they won't like get those little divots of just use over the years. So they are pricey, but they do make it everlasting. That's the whole appeal. We're gonna get to my favorite shop. I saved the best for last here. I adore the shop because I feel like they are reasonably priced. I really, really like their aesthetics. A lot of the acrylics that they use and their color patterns and just how they make pens are my aesthetic, but I mainly discovered them because they make different size pens. And a bunch of different shops will do this, but specifically Butterfly Effect Wares is the shop I'm talking about. Makes micro, mini, regular, and large size pens. And I was interested in finding like a mini diamond painting pen, as in it's shorter than a regular diamond painting pen. So I discovered this. So this is from Butterfly Effect Wares. As you guys can tell, it is another hybrid pen where it has wood on both ends and acrylic in the middle, which is appealing to me, but it's short. So this is the pen I was just talking about. This is an average size. It's about the size of like a Sharpie or a regular pen, and this is the size difference. And I did this specifically for me. A lot of people won't like these pens. They'll prefer the weight of a full-length pen. But as somebody who consistently multi-places and single places back and forth while I'm diamond painting, I wanted something easy to flip in my tiny hands. I have very small hands, so that was the main appeal for me. I wanted something very lightweight and short so that it would be easier to flip without risking, you know, like flinging the pen across the room. So this is the first mini pen that I got from Butterfly Effect Wares, and this is probably my most used pen to date. I just love it. It's pretty. It also looks like a little magic wand, and it just serves its purpose very well. So it's very lightweight. The wood doesn't make my hands sweat, but it's still pretty. And that is the shop that I check back with frequently. I think they do drops every Saturday, and they will announce it like on their Facebook page, or you can just follow their Etsy shop and you'll see when new items get listed every Saturday. So from there, I wanted to try a Mega Mini. So it is the same length as this one, but it is slightly fatter. And this works well. So this kind of gives you the same effect as having like a wider pen that makes your hands not get tired as quickly. And this one just looks like a little fairy forest. I'll put it on the screen. It has some glitter, but I just like that it has like natural colors in it. Even though this one is not a hybrid, it does not have wood in it. It still kind of looks like it does. And it makes me feel like a little forest fairy, okay? That's all I ever want in life, so this pen helps me achieve that aesthetic. And then finally, I just placed a new order with them. It had been months since I got a new diamond painting pen because I was like, oh, I found ones that I really like. I have a good variety of different types. I'm good. But then this shop started doing this black prismatic acrylic pours, and they were selling out super fast, and I love the aesthetic of them because they look like the Night Court. I will do an overlay because this pen is gorgeous. But yeah, I wanted a Night Court pen, and that's what this is. But this one is also just acrylic. It does not have the hybrid, but it's so pretty. I'm hoping one day they will do a hybrid with the black prismatic acrylic because it is so pretty. So technically, these are my 3 most recent pens that I have acquired. So I usually, depending on the painting that I'm working on, if it has a lot of confetti in it or if it has a lot of color blocking, I usually will keep one pen that has, all my pens have a single placer on one end because that's what I prefer. And then I will usually put like a multi-placer on the other end. And usually these two are my combination that I use. So both have single placers, and this one has a 6-placer and this one has a 3-placer. So I have choices and I have varieties of sizes and shapes so that my hands don't get tired. But like I said, I'm still fairly new to the diamond painting game, so I haven't explored that many shops. I follow a lot of pen shops just on Etsy in general, just to see if there's anything that strikes my fancy. But again, these are kind of investments. They're kind of expensive, and you really don't need more than one pen. Spoken like somebody who just held up like 10 pens in front of you, but it's okay. It's what I prefer to spend my money on. So those just happen to be my 3 favorite pen shops that I buy from. Jim's Handmade Pen Shop, my BFF Diamond Painting Pens, and Butterfly Effect Wares. Butterfly Effect Wares is where I get the mini pens, and they are my favorite that I go to. So that is the shop that I'm going to recommend the most, just because I also really like the couple that runs the shop. They're very cool people, and they ship to you very quickly. So there are plenty of other people out there on YouTube or just in the diamond painting community in general who can recommend very specific types of pens to you. There are shops that make like ergonomic pens that are like little egg-shaped ones that you hold in the palm of your hand, which benefits a lot of people who have grip issues. I feel like it's just kind of like a try it and see game of what works for you, like what fits your hand really well. And there are so many shapes that pen shops make when they're turning them on the lathe. There are so many like different shape patterns that a lot of shops like to use. I personally don't like the ones that have a lot of like harsh corners on them. They are pretty, but I like everything to be like smooth and rounded. So that's just a personal preference thing, but if you would prefer to have like an actual grip to have, there are pens that have that. So that is going to be it for this video. Those are the pens that I use the most. I hope maybe you guys took some recommendations away from this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to start toying with doing whip-in chats on my channel here for all of you diamond painting people. I do them all over on my Patreon, and it's basically where I give people like life and reading updates as well, because it just lets me talk for like half an hour straight. But I'm toying with the idea of occasionally doing them over on my channel, but I'm stressed and nervous about it because I'm not the best diamond painter. There's not really a good way to diamond paint. Like, you're not going to be a good one or a bad one, but I feel like I'm going to stress people out with how I multi-place or how I choose to diamond paint. The people on Patreon are very forgiving, but this is the year of working on getting over stuff like that, so I'm probably going to start doing it on my channel. So if you guys are diamond painters and you would like to also watch me diamond paint while I just chit-chat about life and things, make sure you're subscribed because they'll be a-coming this year. We'll work on them. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one.